So you can understand, just what it is that I had to put up with this weekend. And, I had this sort of falling out with Brent's dad in the past. I've always felt that his sense of humor, was always just very, very poorly timed. And it's the same thing with this other friend of mine, who was a Pisces. Brent's dad was a Pisces too. This other friend of mine named Chad, who was also a Pisces with a Taurus moon and a Libra ascendant. And same deal, it was like that same jaded, very, very, I guess you could say overly innocent approach to humor and saying things that, that person assumes, they think are funny to them, but are actually quite insulting to the person they're saying it to. That's basically how it was. And, the problem with Brent is that he has always had this problem where he's never taken a side. It's like he's always been supportive and has been trying to balance out the needs of people who seem to be very, very unequal in terms of their personal differences. I mean, every person is unique in terms of their overall character, and certain personality traits are obviously going to, allow for variety in another person. That's my Uranus in the 4th house there, as I've studied it over time. And that's another thing about Brent, is the fact that because he is a Virgo, he completely does not get my spiritual life. And everything that we talk about, if we talk about astrology or chakras or tantra, it all has to boil down to some sort of logical fact for him in order to make it malleable. And, just our own philosophical viewpoints on things, they just never seem to match up. Or sometimes they do, and we're usually on parallel paths. But I know that people being people, not everything is going to be completely parallel in a straight line. There's going to be a lot of zigzags along the way. And I feel that I've been going up a certain way, and Brent has been gravitating towards the opposite direction. Sometimes going back and meeting me on the same path again, only to drift off once more too. That's just that Virgo behavior of his. Like he can take a side for what I have to say about something one moment. The next moment, he'll be taking the side of somebody who is in complete conflict with me. And I think that's probably his Venus in Libra right there. Matched up with that Mars and Sagittarius, just doesn't really link up with somebody like myself who has, Venus in Gemini and Mars in Capricorn. But, whatever. I'm just talking plain spoken right now. And just saying that there has to come a point where, in terms of one's personal evolution through life, there's only so much horizontal reach that I can make to invite the types of friends and supportive people that I need in my life. But once one person, one or more people, no longer become supportive on the ground level in helping to keep my foundation solid, so as to be able to allow and anticipate risk for change, positive change, then those people have to get pushed out so that vertical stability and integrity in growth can occur as well. That's what Ken Wilber was saying in his model on the holons. And I totally believe that, because there has to be vertical development as well as horizontal in my evolution. Just like, the way that the Kundalini travels of the chakras in a vertical manner. If it gets blocked or overflowed, it just explodes and it jets out horizontally. And then I collapse into decay. So that's basically what I have to avoid, especially as I get older, and I have to be more conscious about developing myself so as to reach that level of cosmic consciousness, so that I can continue to grow and be in better alignment with the universe, and to always remain in that state of joy. So, it seems now that after my Saturn return, and being that my Saturn is in Sagittarius, everything that I just said now fits that Sagittarian symbolism of the philosopher and preserving those higher ideals in the framework of my philosophy, so as to ensure that I'm going to start attracting the right people who are going to support all those ideals. And Brent is no longer like that, because he definitely takes away, he siphons away from my ego, and that over time causes me to basically become completely open to suggestiveness from the masses around me. And obviously this planet is, no matter how many advancements it's made, it's still not a complete place of utopia. And there's a lot of toxic psychic waste out there that if I allow my ego to be drained from me, then I become lost in the sauce, as Antero Ali would say it, becoming completely identified with everything around me while losing my center, losing sight of my whole. So that's exactly why ego is so important in my eyes. And we can't live without it. I personally think that the reason why ego can be so toxic is we allow it to be toxic based off of, how much willpower we give those negative forces out there to blot out the sun within us, and to stain it with all these black spots of death and decay. So a healthy ego is an ego designed to help you smile and to help you feel liberated and joyful and thankful to be alive, and to make you feel special. Because after all, your ego is supposed to help check back with you, to help you to see, you know what? There's people out there who don't like me, and that's okay, because I'm special in the eyes of the universe, and I will only give love to those people who are willing to deserve it and who are willing to give it back in equal or greater measure. And that's my message of the ego. Hopefully you take this well.
And love and light. I know I sounded a bit irritable, and I'm usually I'm a bit more positive and upbeat than usual, but I mean, I'm just waking up too, and I've got to figure out what other projects I need to start catching up on that require my creativity and inspiration. So just a bit of cobwebs that I've had to wipe out from, the cave of my own psychic depository. So anyways, hope you all have a lovely day. I know I am, and I definitely am looking forward to it getting better. So peace out.